The purpose of this session is to gain an understanding of what you need to start living in Japan. Rules for living. Traffic rules. And how to live safely and securely in Japan. Lesson 1. Outline. Let's get started with the session. First, let's listen to some stories from people who live in Japan.
さっきは前こっちに行く時は日本人はあまり親切じゃないと思ったけど、こっち他のところはわからないけど、こっちの人はみんな優しいです。それは全然違う。その前のことは全然違う。
毎日通勤での電車のなんか、使った時とやっぱりなんか電車のなんか時間通りに運行することとか、あとなんだっけ、電車の中とかみんな例えば携帯電話と中華はなんか違反となっていることはもう驚きましたね。
日本には、ルールは結構多いですけど、それはもうなんか世界的に日本のイメージの一つです。でもなんか日本に来る前になんかそれ多分なんか分かった方がいいですね。私もなんか日本に来る前にもうなんかじゃあ日本のルールも守る、もうそれはなんか自分の頭で決めました。
All countries, including Japan, have their own rules, manners, and customs concerning daily life. For a person from one country to live comfortably in a different country, he or she must, at the very least, understand the rules, manners, and customs of the host country. This point is very important when it comes to living in Japan as well. On a survey of non-Japanese living in Japan, 60% of all respondents answered that they had experienced difficulties because they hadn't known Japan's rules and manners. Moreover, 96% of all respondents said they had actually looked up or studied about Japan's rules and manners. How do non-Japanese people living in Japan learn about Japan's rules, manners, and customs? The survey found that of the respondents who answered they wanted to learn about Japan's rules and manners, 53% preferred to learn directly from Japanese people and 40% preferred to learn online. The most common ways of learning directly from Japanese people is to ask Japanese colleagues or senior staff at work or learn from Japanese neighbors. Another effective way is to make use of the support centers and call lines for foreign nationals that have been opened in recent years. As for online learning, a useful resource are the online multilingual guides that detail the rules, manners, and customs needed for living in your local area. Another good reference are the online materials on rules, manners, and customs for living in Japan available on YouTube channel JICA-Net Library. Working in Japan, develop your career. Lesson 2. What you need to live in Japan. Foreign nationals must have a residence card to live in Japan. A residence card is an identification card for foreign nationals living in Japan. The residence card states your personal details, period of stay in Japan, and permitted activities in Japan. A residence card is normally issued as follows. Before coming to Japan, you must apply for and receive a certificate of eligibility. Your residence card will be issued based on the certificate. If you enter Japan via Narita, Haneda, Chubu, Kansai, New Chitose, Hiroshima, or Fukuoka Airport with a new entry permit, You will be issued a residence card at the airport when you enter the country. If you enter Japan via another airport or a seaport, your residence card will be sent to your address by postal mail after you submit a move-in notification to the municipality where you live after entering Japan. Foreign nationals aged 16 and older are required to carry their residence card at all times while in Japan. If you lose your residence card, please apply for reissuance of your residence card at a regional immigration bureau within 14 days from the date you noticed your card went missing. Next, let's look at submitting your move-in notification. Once you have received your residence card, you must submit a move-in notification in your municipality of residence within 14 days from the date your place of residence was established. Municipality refers to the smallest unit of local government under the prefectural government. Remember to bring your residence card and passport because they are needed when submitting a move-in notification. Next, let's look at the individual number system. After submitting a move-in notification, a certificate of residence will be created for you and your municipality will inform you of your individual number. The individual number system assigns a unique 12-digit number to each person for quick identification. Your individual number gives you access to various services. You need your individual number, for example, to receive pension or child care benefits, to obtain medical services, to send money overseas or receive money from overseas, and to open a bank account. Therefore, be sure to safeguard your individual number. Lesson 3. Rules for living in Japan. Rules while at home. The most confusing rules for foreign nationals living in Japan concern putting out your garbage for collection. The two basic rules concerning garbage disposal are putting out the correct category of garbage on the designated day and time in the designated place and following your municipality's rules on where each category of garbage is to be put out for collection. Garbage is generally put out in the morning on collection days. If the wrong category of garbage, according to the rules, is put out or if garbage is put out in a non-designated place, it will not be collected. For example, in Tokyo's Shibuya ward, garbage is divided into burnable waste, such as food waste, paper scraps, used clothes and plastics. Unburnable waste, such as glass, ceramics, and small metal objects. And recyclable waste, which includes bottles, cans, and PET bottles. Your local area will have set days on which to put out garbage. For example, burnable garbage is collected every Tuesday and Friday, unburnable garbage on the fourth Thursday of each month, and recyclable waste every Wednesday. Large items of waste from households such as furniture are called oversized waste. An advance application system is used to collect oversized waste for a fee. Contact your local oversized waste application center and put out the garbage on the date given to you. Let's listen now to some stories from people who live in Japan. Have you had problems with putting out garbage?
生活ではね、ゴミを分別だよね。はい、生ゴミとなんか燃えるゴミと分けないといけないから、ベトナムではそれではなんか生活の中にゴミならゴミだけ出せばいいです。
日本で区役所から紙とかね、それをもらって、それで勉強した燃えるゴミとかリサイクルとかね、いろいろなゴミについて、それは全然私の国と全然違うからね、ゴミ、はい、それを見てゴミ出します。
Some municipalities require residents to put out their garbage in designated for fee garbage bags. Be sure to check your local rules concerning garbage disposal before putting out any garbage. The next issue is noise. Loud sounds or voices can lead to trouble with your neighbors. Therefore, take care not to disturb your neighbors with loud conversations, parties, TVs, or music. Sound resonates more than you may think, especially in apartments and other multiple dwelling complexes. So be careful not to make loud noises during hours when your neighbors are sleeping. The next topic is about being a good neighbor in neighborhood associations. In Japan, there is an expectation that people living in a community should help each other to make their community a more comfortable and safer place to live. The key to this is maintaining good relations with your neighbors. You can learn what you need to be aware of in your neighborhood by being a good neighbor, such as exchanging greetings with your neighbors and participating in neighborhood events. Maintaining good relations with your neighbors makes it easier to help each other in the event of a disaster or other emergency. Japan also has local neighborhood associations that any resident can join, regardless of gender, age, or nationality. Neighborhood associations work to resolve various local issues affecting daily life and make the community a better place to live through the cooperation and collaboration of residents. The benefits of joining a neighborhood association are creating personal relationships closely tied to the neighborhood and building trust by seeing each other regularly at local festivals, local excursions, and other activities. Lesson 4. Rules for living in Japan. Rules while away from home. The first topic is mobile phones. Never use your mobile phone while walking. Doing so may lead to collisions with other passers-by, possibly causing injuries to them or yourself. Using a mobile phone while riding a bicycle or operating a motor vehicle is prohibited by law. Also be aware that talking on a mobile phone while on a train, bus, or other public transportation is considered bad manners in Japan. The next topic is things to be aware of in public spaces. The interiors of trains and buses are public spaces. Listening to music at loud volumes is irritating to others. Make sure that sound does not leak from your headphones. Wearing a backpack while on a crowded train can bump into others and be a nuisance. Therefore, you should take your backpack off on crowded trains and hold it by its straps in front of you. Shared bathing facilities are found at onsen hot springs, sendo bathhouses, health resorts, Japanese-style inns, hotels, saunas, and sports gyms. Because these facilities are used by the general public, rules are in place to ensure they are kept clean and sanitary. Be sure to follow the rules when using these facilities so that everyone can enjoy a pleasant time together. Wash your body before soaking in the bathing areas. Do not put towels in the bathing areas. Do not wash your body or hair with soap or shampoo in the bathing areas. Take care not to spray water on others in the shower area. Do not wash clothes or other articles in the shower area. Dry your body thoroughly before returning to the changing area to keep the changing area dry. Lesson 5. Traffic rules in Japan. Japan has traffic rules and etiquette, just like your country. Therefore, be sure to obey traffic rules to avoid accidents and live safely. Although public transportation, especially trains and buses, is well developed, care must be taken as many people also move around by car, by bicycle, and on foot. Let's begin with precautions as a pedestrian. In Japan, pedestrians walk on the right. Therefore, pedestrians should walk on the right side when walking along a road. If there is a sidewalk, pedestrians should walk on the sidewalk regardless of whether it is on the left or right side of the road. Only cross roads at a traffic light, pedestrian crossing, or pedestrian footbridge. At pedestrian crossings, raise your hand or turn your head to face the driver to clearly indicate your intention to cross and make sure it is safe before crossing. When crossing at a location without a traffic light, stop before crossing and look to your left and right to make sure there are no cars coming. At crossings located at railway tracks, never enter the crossing when the alarm is sounding or after a boom barrier has begun to lower. Next are precautions when riding a bicycle. Bicycles are vehicles and, as a rule, should be ridden on the roadway. Keep to the left side of the road and do not obstruct pedestrians. The most basic good manners when riding a bicycle is to not obstruct pedestrian traffic. Always come to a full stop at a stop sign and look to your left and right to make sure it is safe before proceeding. Stop and check for safety when passing through an intersection with poor visibility or when crossing a wide street. Japan has a mandatory bicycle registration system to prevent theft that applies to all cyclists. This important registration system identifies the bicycle owner and is used in the event of theft or when returning impounded bicycles. For peace of mind, it is a good idea to purchase private bicycle liability insurance to cover potential damages arising from an accident. Inquire at a bicycle shop or insurance agent about bicycle registration and insurance. Note that it may be mandatory to take out bicycle insurance depending on where you live. Be sure to observe all safety rules when cycling. Riding while under the influence of alcohol, riding double, and riding in parallel are prohibited. Turn on your light at night. Obey traffic signals and check that it is safe to proceed at intersections. If you are involved in or see a traffic accident, stop driving your vehicle immediately, move the vehicle to a safe place, and contact the police. Be sure to call an ambulance if anyone is injured. Call 110 to reach the police and 119 to request an ambulance. Let's listen now to some stories from people who live in Japan. Have you had problems with Japan's traffic rules?
でもやっぱり反対ですよ。ベトナムは行くのは左じゃなくて右の方です。
日本はなんか後ろの人を乗ったらダメですよね。はい。困ることはないけど、でも最初の時は慣れなかった。
Lesson 6. How to live safely and securely in Japan. Let's first look at medical care in Japan. All residents of Japan are enrolled in public medical insurance regardless of their nationality. A health insurance card is issued to those who are enrolled. The Japanese healthcare system is designed to reduce medical costs on individuals by sharing the burden across society as a whole and to guarantee equal access to high-quality, advanced medical care. The many medical institutions in Japan each have their own role. Clinics and medical offices are intended for treatment of routine illnesses and injuries. For minor injuries or mild symptoms, please visit a local clinic or medical office. Small and medium-sized hospitals handle patients who require surgery or hospitalization or who need emergency medical care. Regional core hospitals treat patients who need serious emergency care or advanced medical treatments. Be sure to present your health insurance card at hospitals or clinics. If you do not show your health insurance card, you will be responsible for the full amount of medical expenses. To find a medical institution, you can check brochures issued by your local municipality or search online. You can also search for medical institutions that accept foreign workers people on the Japan National Tourism Organization website for overseas tourists. Another option for those who do not speak Japanese well is to ask at your local foreign nationals resident consultation office for referrals to medical institutions that provide multilingual services. Call 119 in the event of a health emergency. Ambulance services are available 24 hours a day, free of charge. Next, let's look at natural disasters in Japan. The most common natural disasters that occur in Japan are typhoons, torrential rains, earthquakes, and tsunami. First, let's listen to some stories from people living in Japan. Describe your experiences with natural disasters.
1年目の時に地震があって、スーパーでも食べ物ほとんど売れ切ったので、どうやって暮らすかわからない時に会社と組合の人がおにぎりとかパンとか本当にいっぱいある袋渡してくれて、これで数日間過ごしてくれって、一緒に働いた人も家が近いので車で買い物連れて行ってくれました。
Let's start by looking at the basic measures to take when a natural disaster occurs. When seasons change in Japan, heavy rainfalls often occur due to stationary fronts forming over land between warmer southern air masses and colder northern air masses. In recent years, stagnant cloud fronts, formed by topography and other factors, cause prolonged heavy localized rainfalls. Caution is required because these heavy rainfalls and associated storms may cause landslides and flooding that can result in serious damage. For example, when rivers overflow, buildings may be submerged in water and people may be swept away. In landslides, earth and soil from hillside or cliff collapses can destroy buildings and block roads. To protect yourself from such disasters, do not act on your own discretion. Instead, be sure to obtain accurate information and take safe evacuation measures based on flood and other warnings from the Japan Meteorological Agency. Flood warnings are issued when forecasts predict flooding will cause serious damage. These warnings are circulated by multiple means, including disaster prevention radio broadcasts from local governments, news bulletins on TV and radio, and area email notifications to mobile phones. In particular, when a municipality issues an evacuation order, evacuate to a safe place as soon as possible. Check hazard maps for your area and plan safe routes from your home or other places to evacuation sites in advance so that you will be able to evacuate calmly without panic in the event of a disaster. Next, let's look at earthquakes. Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world. When an earthquake occurs, evacuate to a safe location where you can avoid falling objects until the tremors cease. Be aware that earthquakes may continue even after large tremors have subsided. Check news reports and other information once the shaking stops. Evacuation centers may be set up in the event of a major earthquake. Cooperate with your neighbors and help each other. To protect yourself from earthquakes, it is important to participate in local disaster drills to understand the disaster mitigation plans in your local area. Regular evacuation drills and safety verification drills based on earthquake scenarios take place in Japan not only in local communities but also at workplaces and schools. In addition, keep on hand at least a 3-day supply of food and potable water, preferably a week's worth, and supplies for treating injuries at home. Other precautions you should take include securing furniture and other items so they will not fall over during an earthquake. Arrange items in your home so you will be safe even if they do fall over. Do not place fragile or heavy items on top of furniture. Earthquake early warnings are issued immediately after a major earthquake is detected. Take action immediately to protect yourself before the strong tremors arrive. When a large earthquake occurs at the bottom of the ocean, the sea surface fluctuates, creating large waves that propagate tsunami in all directions. If you start to evacuate only after you see a tsunami approaching a coastline, you will not have time to make it to safe ground. If you feel an earthquake while near the sea or an estuary, immediately leave the coast or estuary and evacuate to higher ground, an evacuation building, or other high location. Also, when the Japan Meteorological Agency issues a tsunami warning, even if you don't feel an earthquake, immediately leave the vicinity of a coast or estuary and evacuate to higher ground, an evacuation building, or other high location. After you have evacuated, obtain accurate information from TV, radio, mobile terminals, disaster prevention radio, and the Japan Meteorological Agency website. Tsunami come in multiple surges, so take caution and do not approach the vicinity of coasts or estuaries until the warnings and advisories have been lifted. To protect yourself from tsunami, especially if your home is located near a coastline, it is imperative to use hazard maps to verify local evacuation sites and plan safe routes from your home or other places to evacuation sites on a regular basis. Let's listen now to some stories from people who live in Japan. How have you prepared for disasters?
もし地震とかあればどこに行った方がいいとか、もう区役所からそういう情報はよくもらえますね。小学校で働いた時にもそういうイマージェンシーのための練習はよくやってたんです。
It is likely you will feel some anxiety after leaving your country and starting to live in Japan. Maintaining good communications with your coworkers and neighbors and getting advice on daily life is important to lead a comfortable life in Japan. And to do this, it is key to learn about Japan's rules and customs and familiarize yourself with the Japanese way of life.